All right, this one is for the week of May 16th through the 20th. On Monday, we had 2 assessments, so that was interesting. The very first one we did was our animal work and lose class. I think it went pretty well. I don't think anybody failed, which is always my concern. With these assessments, they're kind of pass-fail with some notes on what you can do to improve. I don't really look at the number too heavily. Like, it's there and I see it and I understand it and will do things to kind of change what I'm doing negatively, but I'm not focusing on that number. I can honestly say I gave it my all. I went as hard as I could, as fast as I could, as much like my animal as I possibly could do, and I was panting at the end of it. I guess we were lucky to have Alex in the class because he told Lou that, I've seen enough, I don't need to see any more in order to make my mark, and she cut the session short because of it. So thank you for Alex for doing that for us. And we haven't got our marks back on that yet, but I feel content with mine. I'm happy with it. The rest of Monday was just kind of our usual stuff. Not too focused on that until the very last class, which was our presentation of our dissertation project. And mine is on acting in science fiction. My question is, how do I prepare for a role in sci-fi? That was one of the things that they suggested I make a change to. My initial question was, how does an actor prepare for a role in sci-fi? But a few contributing factors, they asked me to change my question to, how do I prepare for a role in sci-fi? And that's a perfectly acceptable question. It doesn't have to be, how does everybody else prepare for a role in sci-fi? They also had a bunch of questions about what my presentation portion is going to be. And I told them that it's going to be a Doctor Who themed one-man show in which the Doctor is going to be talking to the Daleks back and forth. I have some ideas rattling around in my head on what I want to do with that, but I got to do a little bit more research specifically on Doctor Who so that I don't just write some nonsensical piece of crap that doesn't really work in the Doctor Who universe. I want this to actually work in the Doctor Who universe, and I want people who watch this who like Doctor Who to go, yeah, that's a Doctor Who type of thing. So, got to do a bit more research on that before I get into it. But again, my presentation I think went really well. I had at the beginning of it this little montage of science fiction movies and TV shows that I put together. That I think kind of wowed the audience that I was able to do that. And then I also had at the very end of it a little teaser trailer for myself as the Doctor. I think that turned out pretty well. Nobody else really put that much effort into their presentation. 3, I think, people, 4 maybe, just sat at the edge of a table and talked about their presentation with very minimal doing anything. 2 or 3 of us actually did like a PowerPoint or whatever for it. So yeah, I think my presentation was just fine. I think I did good, and I should get decent marks on it. Tuesday, I don't really have much to talk about on Tuesday. I guess I could mention that we're doing like stomp style stick movement things in Colin's class, where we're trying to look like maybe African warriors or something, which is pretty fun, but I keep slamming my knee into the ground when we do this knee turn thing. But oh well. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really do much on Tuesday, didn't get any singing done. We used all 2 hours in singing class for individual singing, and 6 people got to go. I was not one of them. And that's fine, because I went like 2 weeks ago. Not really a big deal. So then we move into Wednesday. Alex's acting class, in my opinion, was the best it has been so far. We got 2 different groups up there doing their scene, and instead of just giving notes, Alex kind of, maybe directed isn't the right word, kind of workshopped with them a little bit and gave them some good tips and tricks while stopping the scene and saying, this is what should happen here and why. And I think that has helped people more than anything else that we've ever done in his class. So I really appreciate this week's Alex class. And then the rest of the week is Simon's workshop on the Veil. And this week we finished up our work on all of the Veil. We have now gone through everything at least once, which means that we should be off book Wednesday, which for the first 88 pages on Wednesday of this week, I was off book, which it's only like a 110-page play. So I'm really proud of myself for that. And then next week, I guarantee you I will be off book. I also, on Friday, I have a closing monologue type thing that my character does, and I was off book for that for the most part, and that seemed to impress Simon, and he seemed to appreciate that a bit. So, yeah, again, very proud of myself. I am absolutely in love with this show. This is the best show I've ever done and ever been in. I'm so happy with the way this is turning out. Everybody is doing fabulous work, and I couldn't be happier with it. And I'm so excited to show this off. And I really, 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 really hope that we get some advertisement out there for it so that people can come see it, because the MFA 2's second to last show, Gethsemane, didn't get a lot of people coming to see it because I don't think it was advertised well. But we'll find out. I'm going to mention that in workbook this week. So yeah, that was my week. I'm very happy with it. Thanks for watching.